about y'all, but I think FFG is a prime example of when you let your hobby become your obsession. Many of us believe this whole Salah and Kuwait thing is wild, and people are understandably worried, even annoyed by her current behavior, but I feel it's completely irresponsible to make these type of accusations on a public platform without proof. We are still currently watching this whole story arc unfold, so no one really knows what's going to happen in the future, as Chantal has not exactly spoken about these details publicly at this time. People do sometimes get married right away, and those people sometimes live long distance until they go through proper legal processes. These are very serious accusations she's allegedly conspiracy whatever making, especially after the threat she made about having a phone conversation with someone from Canadian immigration on a previous stream because Foodie Beauty came for her dogs. Her words. Anyways, let's watch.
Here's the post. Let's take a look at the top of that pic. There's definitely some like croppage going on here. What is the white at the top of this pic? I don't know. Somebody posted in the Discord earlier this pic with what I'm no NASA member, but this pic with like I think is like a reverse search or whatever. You reverse the image search, whatever the fuck. I'm sorry. And it came up as like something. Hold on. Something. I'm such a dick. Discord closed. I had it ready. Back. Hold on. Scrolling back. Where is it? There. Okay. It came up as Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and then some I don't know what that writing is, maybe Russian after it. That picture with that tone, like that exact picture, the colors looking the way they do and stuff. I don't know. I can't verify that. I don't know shit about this shit, but it was posted in the Discord. Okay. So I don't know what that means. Is she lying? Did she just not bother taking a picture, but she wanted to post a picture and was like, shit, I didn't take a picture. So she just posted that up? Had she already landed? Is she trying to be couth about this whole thing? So, you know what I mean? No, she's not couth. What am I kidding? Ay. Thank you, Esther. I really appreciate that. If you Google Kuwait picture from airplane, oh shit, is that what? Def not her picture. Yeah. The timing of the day. Somebody worked this out on Twitter. This isn't me, okay? This is what I read on Twitter. The timing of the day that she would have been landing doesn't correspond to the sun setting, let's say, the way it is in this picture at all. You know, it would be like middle of the day. That's fair, right? Pete said she was gone. I think that's one of the best like indicators, unless she's like, lie for me. But usually get a little bit of the truth out of Pete's, you know? That's where she was going. Like the picture is legit, but is it her picture? You know what I mean? I don't know. What if she fell asleep? What if she was snoring as they like flew over Doha like that and she missed the chance to take a picture and she's like, fuck. And so she just like Googled the picture and posted it up. Ooh, Susie Q. FFG, she could be being detained or arrested. Well, I mean, if one of those dogs smelt one of those bags, she's pretty much having her shit at least fucking taken apart. And I don't mean just like take the clothes out of your fucking suitcase. They're going to take the lining out of your fucking suitcase and search that motherfucker. It could be. Pete's was live playing a game 24 minutes ago, FFG. Ooh. I'm going to subscribe to his channel. That's it. Taking one for the team. We need to know. I can't miss stuff. See, this, in my opinion, what I just said about subbing to his channel is why Chantal is gaining subs right now. People are thinking the same thing, like, fuck it. You know what? I'm just going to sub. I don't want to miss it if she comes live or something. Dear, one thing for sure is she's got guts if she's there. Isn't it funny? Like, yeah, going on, never having traveled, suddenly up and going to the other side of the world alone. That's balls. Balls from a woman who's afraid to eat in her car on a street if there's cars passing by on that street, you know? It's just amazing. The lengths she will go to for love. Yeah, Rebecca, that's exactly. She'll do anything for a man. She will go to the other side of the world, literally. Kuwait bees incoming as your birthday gift. I can't believe of all the days, it's today. Mwah. It's All Saints Day today. Mwah. And on this All Saints Day, Saint Marie, the patron saint of DV, went off to Kuwait to marry a stranger. So really something else, right? I don't know how we got here, but here we are, guys. Now, a little more about marriages of convenience and what the Canadian government says about said marriages of convenience. A marriage of convenience is a marriage contracted for reasons other than love, such as marriage is entered into for personal gain or some other sort of strategic purpose. There are some cases in which those married do not intend to live together as a couple and typically got married only for one of them to gain the right to reside in a country. I'm reading a note. A couple may wed for one of them to gain citizenship. For example, as many countries will grant such rights to anyone married to a resident citizen. Because they exploit legal loopholes, sham marriages or marriages of convenience often have legal consequences. Now, Canadian, she's doing this in Canada. Here's what the Canadian government has to say about marriages of convenience, okay? And what can happen to a Canadian who involves themselves in a marriage of convenience or the person who comes here based off of a marriage of convenience, okay? So don't be tempted by offers of money or other rewards to marry a person just so they can immigrate to Canada. If you do this, you may face serious criminal charges. You also still have to meet the terms of the sponsorship. Meaning if the person doesn't get ejected from here and you've now signed to be responsible for them for 2 years, even if you're caught on this shit, you can still be held responsible for them for the 2 years. Okay? Don't feel you must help somebody by being part of a marriage of convenience, no matter what the reason. It's not worth the risks. Now, for the visa applicants, that would be salad, right? Don't get involved in false marriage. We'll refuse your visa and may ban you from travel to Canada for 5 years. This will stay on your immigration record forever. We know that even genuine marriages can fail, but if you enter in a marriage of convenience to come to Canada as an immigrant, we may take legal action against you, not allow you to enter Canada for 5 years, and deport you from Canada. And then again, it stays on the record of immigration forever. So like, you're never coming back here. Again, these two are from the Canadian government's website, specifically immigration and oh God, what is it? Immigration and Refugee something Canada. Entering into a false marriage to facilitate someone's immigration to Canada is marriage fraud. Marriages of convenience are not allowed under Canada's immigration law. It is illegal for someone who is permanent resident or Canadian citizen to marry someone who is not in order to facilitate expedited immigration to Canada for that person. Knowingly entering into a fraudulent marriage for the purpose of allowing someone to stay in Canada is illegal, is an offense under the Immigration Act. Furthermore, spousal sponsorship is a serious legal commitment. It requires that the Canadian citizen or permanent resident that is the sponsor be financially responsible for the person they are married for 2 years. And she's lucky because it used to be a shit ton longer than 2. If the sponsored person accepts social assistance during these years, their sponsor is responsible to repay the government. A person entering into a marriage of convenience and coming to Canada as an immigrant can be subject to ramifications once it is established that the marriage is in fact fraudulent. They may be deported. This deportation will be determined by and carried out by the Canada Border Service Agency. As well, the alleged offender, who is the permanent resident or Canadian citizen, Chantal in our case, may be charged under the criminal code with fraud. Okay? That's from the government. So, I don't know. Again, this is all allegedly conspiracy, whatever, but it's the vibe that I've got from the beginning. And the longer that's so hard to prove, though, dear, in her case, it's actually not that hard to prove. They haven't known each other that long. A month is not long enough. Well, see, I've mentioned before the thing about that interview they'll have with the Canadian government. It's inevitable. Like, you have to have that interview, okay? They're trained to look for this kind of shit. It's going to be so many red flags. Like, their spidey senses will also be going off. What do you mean you only spoke for 2 weeks before marrying him? What do you mean you never wore a hijab before you spoke to him, like, after a week? What do you mean you never had intentions to marry someone on the other side of the world? They can do home visits. There's all kinds of shit that they can do. When their spidey senses are alerted, it's easy sometimes to slip through, but once the thing, like the alarms are going off, they're like a gnat on your ass.